フルカウンター
Mael of the 4 Archangels, currently right now in the game, is probably one of the most requested characters to come since for a very long time now. So today we're going to go through how they'll play in Grand Cross, a series that I do on the channel where I take a character and show you all the potential skills that he could do in the game. And this time it should be a little bit special. This was requested by a lot of you lot on my actual community page. Literally a majority of you lot vote for Mael, so we have to do him here. But this time, well, it's going to be a bit different because there's actually 3 Maels that we could possibly see here and 2 that we will see very, very soon. So in the recent story chapters with Esterosa, we did get to see 3 different Esterosas. We saw the one with his wings, basically, who would likely just be a normal SSR that won't be a festival character. Then we saw the Hunchback Esterosa that could be a festival character, but we have to wait and see. And then we saw, obviously, Esterosa, which is arguably the main one that people want. And in terms of Mael, it kind of follows the exact same pattern. We got base Mael with our actual Sunshine Grace that doesn't really do too much, however, I'll go through his skills in a second. Then we get to see the full Absorb Commandment Mael that definitely could be a story boss exclusive. However, I think the importance of how good this guy actually looks, I can definitely see him being a character in a few years time. But the third final Mael is like how we saw Esterosa, is giving the main one people want, and that is Sunshine Mael, the one with his actual grace. So since we have to go through 3 characters right now, let's just start off because the video might be too long. Alright, so Graceless, if that's what we're calling it, Graceless Mael is going to be probably a base character that we may not see for a while, but they could definitely make him a normal SSR because the game sorely does need normal SSR that aren't seasonal festivals or collab characters. So I wouldn't mind them making this guy an actual normal SSR, but probably sometime after we do get Sunshine Mael. But here are his skills. So the first skill that he does actually use, and pretty much the only skill he actually uses that actually has a name towards it that isn't really ambiguous, is actually Arrow of Salvation. He uses skill twice, one against obviously King, and then the second time, spoiler alert if you haven't actually seen the anime yet or the manga, I guess it's been some time now, but he does use his skill against Derriere and actually does kill us. So this is a given, this is 100% going to be one of his skills because literally it's the only thing he actually does. And it is lore wise, it does do more damage towards demons, so might be some sort of demon killer if they really want to. Now the next move, I'm not too sure what it is because there's no actual name to it, but you can see in the video behind you right now, literally does like a massive ball of light and darkness, and I think later on we do get to see him shooting that ball of darkness, and I believe that will be the second skill here, probably likely AoE skill. Single target AoE, not too bad combo to have, but once again I'm not too sure what it could do or what you even want to call this one because there's actually no name to it, but at least for a second skill it will definitely be this clip right here. Very quick, but like I said, this is going to be probably likely a normal SRMAL, so not too much detail going over this one. The ultimate is going to be probably the one where he does actually absorb the 4 commandments, but this will not be the 4 commandment absorb Mael because, well, he does do a lot of skills we go through later on, but literally goes to the sky, does a massive ball of darkness, or I guess light, and kind of shoots some arrows that kills a bunch of people. Probably an AoE skill. If I'm being honest with you lot, if they're going to do an actual Mael in story mode where we do get to see him, it's likely not going to have an ultimate move. It's going to be some sort of random skill that he made it up, but if they're going to give this to him, this is probably his ultimate move. And fun fact, this is where we do get to see the Festival Diane, where she does swing a hammer. Literally, she's using that hammer swing to literally defend against his attack here. So I find that kind of sick. So while this Mael was not too important really, the big part we're going to get to see is the fact that he's going to be in-game an actual boss character because, well, literally the only difference in models really to the Sunshine Mael is the 2 black wings and also the fact that he does have 1 black eye because it's darkness and obviously light. So seeing this guy in-game in literally a few months time now is going to be the first look at towards the Sunshine Mael, even if we don't get to see that guy as a playable character just yet. The next Mael is the 4 commandment absorb Mael. Now, in terms of how cool this character looks, I can definitely see them making this guy an actual darkness Mael very, very far in the future. I think we'll probably get Mael first as some of a character, but this guy being exclusive towards story mode is very likely for a long time here. And the skills kind of make sense a little bit, so let's go through it. So like I said, consider this guy's going to be an actual boss. Bosses in the game typically have more than 3 skills because they get that red skill that happens every 2 or 4 turns basically. And I think this Mael is going to get that because he does have 4 actual commandments and each commandment does do something different. So the chances of this guy being a story boss exclusive is likely here. So let's go through the skills. So the first skill we're going to see is probably the Bell of Truth. Literally, this is, he just rings a bell, and to be fair, doesn't do any damage. Literally, all it does in the anime is reveal the true king. And in terms of it being a skill in Grand Cross, likely going to be some buff skill, because why not, right? Rings the bell, your whole team gets a buff. Or if you're the boss, for example, then he'll probably just buff up in stats and probably heal himself too. Nothing too much to say about this one, but considering it does no damage, it's got to be some sort of buff skill. The next skill will be the Scythe of Silence, which will be a damage skill that could be easily AoE with a single target depending how Netmob wants to go, but considering he has a buff skill, it's likely just going to be an AoE skill just so we can do some damage, especially in PvP and also, you know, just story boss character basically. But as the name suggests, it does silence a character, so this could be a whole different debuff the character could get, but it's very likely they're going to give this character literally the debuff that Channa does get when you literally attack the character, all your skills are disabled, and it's literally straightforward. It blocks the character skills. So like I mentioned earlier, bosses typically do get a red skill that happens every 2 or so turns, and well, the skill right here is called Incense of Purity. Once again, it doesn't do anything. From the looks of it, it does like a massive miss effect that does put the characters to sleep, so you can imagine sort of AoE stun. Once again, this is a story boss and most likely not going to be a PvP character, so giving them an actual AoE stun would actually be some sort of, I guess it will be okay because it's only in story mode. And then finally, the ultimate is the Light Ball of Love. Literally this guy's favorite move. He uses it so many times, and the massive AoE destruction is going to be obviously going to be ultimate move. Literally goes into the sky, drops his massive Light Ball of Love, and then boom, kills the whole team. That is basically it for the 4 Absorb Commandment Mael. The skills are pretty straightforward. Each of them coming from the commandment, they kind of all work in one way, and we're definitely going to see this guy as a boss in the game. However, him being a playable character is something that I don't see happen anytime soon. However, I wouldn't mind just being the darkness type version of Mael, because at least look wise he does look really good, and I would want him to be in game to where we can customize the actual outfits, because this Mael looks really good. And then finally we have Grace Mael, the Sunshine Mael, the one where Escalor does give his powers back to him, and this is the character that if we are going to get Mael first, this is the one we would get. And well, let's go through his skills. I will say one thing though, Mael, at least when he does awaken and realizes who he actually is, doesn't fight too much, because his whole gimmick really is not really interfering with the Holy War, just kind of stopping Meliodas from transforming to his Demon King version. And as well, even in the movie when we do get to see him, he really doesn't do anything apart from run away. So I would say this Mael, it doesn't really do too much. But in the short fight that he does do towards Zeldris and I guess the original demon, he does actually use 3 moves, which is all we need for him to be a playable character in game. So let's go through it. Alright, so this character will have a grace, and obviously I can't go over what the skill could be because literally it's totally up to Netmarble, however they want the meta to go. But what we'll say is yes, the guy will have a grace, and it's likely going to be so powerful to where it's going to be better than Tamio, and Tamio is already broken, so I'm not really looking forward to this guy in game if he's going to have such a powerful grace, but it's going to be a given. It's Sunshine Mael, you know, he's going to have a powerful grace. So for his first skill, he's going to have Helios Fair. Literally, this is the skill he does use against Zeldris, and it's going to be a massive single target punch where you can imagine it's going to be something similar towards the one Escanor where it does one massive punch and probably just do so much damage, because literally from the skill that we do get to see, at least in the anime, Zeldris couldn't even move after it. So it's going to be, yes, a single target skill called Helios Flare. It's pretty straightforward. His next skill will be something that will be very similar towards Estarossa. Literally in the recent chapters, we did get to see Estarossa use a skill called Killing Saucer, where he gets a massive black base around his hand, and well, Mael does do something similar. Literally gets a massive light ball around his hand. Light Saucer, I believe they might call it. I'm not too sure if they're going to call it the exact same name as Killing Saucer, because it doesn't really make sense towards Mael killing people, you know, that's kind of against his whole character. But from what we've seen in the anime, literally all he does do is D2 skills that would be 2 single target skills. So at least Mael, I think is a given. He's gonna be 2 single target skills, and then for the ultimate move, it's gonna be kind of broken because, well, this is where we get into the Greatest Sun. So yeah, like I said, that's simply the move. It's gonna be the Greatest Sun, literally a massive ball in the sky that's gonna come down and massively nuke the entire field. It's gonna be broken, you know how it is. It's got to be a Festo character as well, so you can imagine he's gonna have some sort of 6/6 ability to where you want to give him 6/6, and it's gonna ruin the game. It's going to be simple as that, boys. And then I'll briefly mention the passive, because like I said, I can't really go over it because it's depending how Netmap wants the meta to be. I can't base it off how he does do it in the anime, but what we'll say is though the guy is a DPS character, so they're going to go hard. They're going to make this guy full DPS character, and will be pretty much not the first DPS character for the Archangels, because we kind of saw that with Tamiel, but this guy's going to be broken because you can imagine you're going to use him with obviously Light Elizabeth. You're going to use him with obviously Margaret, which is going to be so broken for the Archangels. Literally, this guy's going to make Archangels top tier, and something that I'm not really ready for. So boys, that is how Mael would play in the game. Probably likely a straight up damage dealer. There was 2 single target skills. That's just the way I see it from the actual anime. And boys, after he does defeat Zeldris, then we do get to see one big bad boy, which is Demon King Meliodas. So boys, if this video does hit 200 likes, then I'll consider making one on him in a few weeks time. I don't want to make these videos too often. I want to make it like once a month. So boys, 200 likes and I'll do obviously Demon King Meliodas. Boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.